Port Charles is about to witness one of the most shocking turnarounds in recent memory. For weeks, fans have watched Cassius emerge as one of the most dangerous figures in town, a man whose motives seemed impossible to understand and whose actions left devastation everywhere he went. But what if everything viewers thought they knew about him was wrong? According to explosive General Hospital speculation, Cassius may soon make a choice nobody sees coming. A choice that transforms him from villain to unlikely hero. In a dramatic twist, Cassius could risk everything to rescue both RescueObrecht and Jocelyn Jacks from a deadly situation that threatens to destroy them all. The question is simple. Why would Cassius suddenly become their savior? The answer may lie in a heartbreaking secret that has remained hidden for months. For a long time, Cassius has operated under the belief that power is the only thing that matters. Every move he has made has been calculated, strategic, and ruthless. He convinced himself that emotions were weaknesses and that compassion only led to betrayal. However, recent events have started to crack that carefully constructed armor. Sources close to the storyline suggest that Cassius may begin experiencing overwhelming guilt over the consequences of his actions. Every betrayal, every lie, and every innocent person caught in the crossfire begins weighing on him more heavily than ever before. The turning point comes when he witnesses something unexpected. Instead of treating him like a monster, Obrecht may show him genuine understanding. That moment changes everything. RescueObrecht has spent years being judged by the people of Port Charles. She knows what it feels like to be hated. She knows what it feels like to make terrible mistakes. More importantly, she understands that redemption is never impossible. When Cassius finds himself cornered emotionally, Obrecht may become the only person willing to look beyond his reputation. Their conversations reportedly grow deeper and more personal. At first, Cassius remains defensive. He expects manipulation. He expects judgment. He expects condemnation. Instead, Obrecht offers honesty. She tells him about her own mistakes. She admits the regrets she carries every day. She explains that people can change if they truly want to. Those words hit Cassius harder than any threat ever could. For the first time in years, he begins imagining a different future. While Obrecht reaches Cassius intellectually, Jocelyn touches something even deeper. His heart. Rumors suggest that Joss may remind Cassius of someone from his past, perhaps a younger sister, perhaps a daughter, perhaps someone he failed to protect years ago. Whatever the connection turns out to be, seeing Joss repeatedly put herself in danger awakens painful memories. Cassius begins recognizing familiar qualities in her: courage, determination, compassion, hope. Even when facing terrifying circumstances, Joss refuses to surrender. That resilience affects him in ways he never anticipated. Soon, protecting her becomes more than a strategic decision. It becomes personal. The storyline reportedly escalates when a mysterious enemy targets both Obrecht and Joss. Initially, everyone assumes Cassius is responsible. After all, he has every reason to be considered a suspect. When Obrecht disappears without a trace, fingers immediately point toward him. Then Joss vanishes as well. Port Charles erupts into chaos. Carly becomes desperate. Michael launches his own investigation. Anna starts connecting clues. Sonny prepares for war. But there is one problem. Cassius didn't kidnap anyone. In fact, he may be the first person to realize who actually did. Unfortunately, nobody believes him. As shocking truths begin surfacing, another villain enters the picture. Unlike Cassius, this individual has no interest in redemption, no conscience, no mercy, no limits. The mysterious enemy views Obrecht and Joss as leverage. They become pawns in a much larger game. Once Cassius discovers the truth, he understands the horrifying reality. If nobody intervenes, both women could die. The realization forces him to make a choice: walk away and protect himself, or risk everything to save them. For a man who has spent years prioritizing survival, the decision should be easy. Yet it isn't. Not anymore. One emotional scene reportedly shows Cassius standing alone, wrestling with his conscience. The old Cassius would leave. The old Cassius would let events unfold. The old Cassius would protect his own interests. But something has changed. Obrecht's words continue echoing in his mind. Joss's courage continues haunting him. For the first time in years, he wants to do the right thing, even if nobody ever knows, even if nobody thanks him, even if he dies trying. That realization marks the beginning of his redemption journey. Before launching his rescue mission, Cassius attempts one final desperate move. He contacts Sonny Corinthos. The conversation reportedly becomes explosive. Sonny assumes Cassius is playing another game, another manipulation, another deception. But Cassius insists time is running out. He tells Sonny that Joss is in immediate danger. Naturally, Sonny refuses to trust him. Years of conflict cannot disappear overnight. The meeting ends badly. Cassius leaves frustrated, yet he refuses to quit. If Sonny won't help, he'll do it alone. Meanwhile, Obrecht proves once again why she remains one of the toughest women in Port Charles. Even while imprisoned, she continues fighting. She studies her captors. She searches for weaknesses. She protects Joss whenever possible. At one point, Joss begins losing hope. The situation appears impossible. Escape seems unlikely. That is when Obrecht delivers a powerful speech. She reminds Joss who she is. She reminds her that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to keep going despite fear. Those words become crucial later, because when the rescue begins, both women will need every ounce of strength they possess. Investigations eventually lead Cassius to a remote compound. The facility is heavily guarded. Security systems cover every entrance. Armed personnel patrol the grounds around the clock. Breaking in appears suicidal. Nevertheless, Cassius proceeds. He knows waiting means death. Armed with limited resources and even less support, he launches his mission. Every step could be his last. Every corner hides danger. Yet he keeps moving forward, because failure is no longer an option. What follows may become one of the most intense action sequences of the year. Cassius infiltrates the compound under cover of darkness. He bypasses security checkpoints. He avoids surveillance systems. He neutralizes guards. One by one, obstacles fall. Eventually, he reaches the area where Obrecht and Joss are being held. The reunion is emotional. At first, neither woman believes he is there to help. Joss remains suspicious. Obrecht remains cautious. But the truth becomes undeniable. Cassius has come to save them, and he has come alone. Even after freeing them, problems remain. The compound is on lockdown. Enemies surround them. Escape routes disappear rapidly. Most importantly, trust remains fragile. Joss struggles to believe Cassius has truly changed. Can she rely on him? Can she trust him with her life? Cassius understands her hesitation. Rather than demanding trust, he earns it. Through actions, through sacrifice, through courage. Slowly, perceptions begin shifting. Just when escape seems possible, another twist rocks the storyline. Someone unexpectedly betrays them. The betrayal exposes their location. Alarms sound throughout the facility. Armed forces converge. The odds become overwhelming. Suddenly, survival seems impossible. Obrecht realizes they have been set up. Joss realizes they are trapped. Cassius realizes only one option remains. He must stay behind. The emotional climax arrives when Cassius chooses to hold off pursuing enemies while Obrecht and Joss escape. The decision stuns everyone, especially Joss. She cannot understand why he would sacrifice himself. Cassius finally reveals the truth. He spent years destroying lives, years causing pain, years running from responsibility. Saving them won't erase his mistakes, but perhaps it can mean something. Perhaps it can prove that people are capable of change. His words leave both women speechless. For a moment, nobody moves. Then Obrecht understands. This is his redemption, his chance to become the person he always could have been. As enemies close in, Cassius launches a desperate defense. Every second matters. Every moment buys Obrecht and Joss additional time. The battle becomes brutal. Explosions rock the compound. Gunfire echoes through corridors. Chaos erupts everywhere. Yet Cassius refuses to retreat. His determination becomes unstoppable. No matter what happens to him, he will ensure their survival. Despite reaching safety, Joss cannot leave things unfinished. Against Obrecht's wishes, she decides to return. She refuses to abandon someone who risked everything for her. The decision creates another dramatic confrontation. Joss races back toward danger. Obrecht follows. Together they reach Cassius just as events spiral out of control. What they find changes everything. Cornered and wounded, Cassius finally confesses the secret that has haunted him. Years earlier, he failed someone he loved. His obsession with power cost an innocent life. Ever since then, guilt has consumed him. Rescuing Joss wasn't random. Saving Obrecht wasn't strategic. It was his attempt to become the man he should have been long ago. The confession brings tears to everyone's eyes. Even Obrecht struggles to hide her emotions. As authorities finally arrive and the danger ends, the future remains uncertain. Cassius may face criminal consequences. He may face prison. He may face judgment from countless enemies. But one thing has changed forever. He is no longer the same man. For the first time, people see something different. Not a villain, not a monster. A flawed human being searching for redemption. Whether Port Charles accepts that redemption remains to be seen. If these spoiler theories prove accurate, the aftermath could reshape numerous relationships. Joss may become one of Cassius's strongest defenders. Obrecht may advocate for mercy. Sonny may reconsider long-held assumptions. Anna may investigate hidden truths. And Carly may struggle with conflicting emotions after learning who actually saved her daughter. The ripple effects would extend throughout Port Charles. Old alliances could crumble. New friendships could emerge. Unexpected romances might develop. Most importantly, viewers would witness one of the most compelling redemption stories General Hospital has delivered in years. The possibility of Cassius rescuing Obrecht and Joss represents far more than an action-packed storyline. It represents transformation. At its core, General Hospital has always been about second chances. Characters fall, characters fail, characters make terrible choices. Yet sometimes they find a path back. If Cassius truly risks everything to save Obrecht and Joss, viewers may witness the moment a villain becomes a hero. Not because his past disappears, not because his mistakes are forgotten, but because he finally chooses courage over fear, sacrifice over selfishness, and redemption over darkness. And in Port Charles, that kind of choice can change everything.